All right. Welcome back everyone sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Ayan na naman, kasama natin ulit si Attorney Christina Conti. Kung sabi nga ni, sabi ni Robin Hood Padilla isang araw after medyo taken to the school ba siya kay Kiko, sabi niya, ito ang abogado ng bayan. Si Attorney Christina Conti naman, abogado ng sambayanan Pilipino, di ba? And obviously, as we enter fifth month sa rin na ba ng archive ay sorry na nasa detention si tatay, so fifth month sa rin, no, na I've seen some news
Oo.
about that, malapit na mag sixth month sa rin. So as we head towards, it looks like hindi so far masuspend or ma-delay pre-trial the event on September 23. We wanted to have some catch up on that, but before Attorney Conti, we talk about yung mga na-archive dyan sa ICC. um Pag-usapan natin yung mga nasa paligid ng ICC at medyo nag-iingay pa rin. Ito si Harry Roque, attorney. Pag-usapan natin si Harry Roque kasi matagal namin hindi pinag-usapan ng mga ibang guests, lalong-lalo na pag sila Ronald Llamas and all, baka may sasabihin, ma-MTRCB kami. So, let me ask politically correct people like you. What is the latest on Harry? Kasi parang pati si Kaufman ayaw na sa kanya eh. Tuloy binibiro ng tao yung parang nangyari sa West Philippines, nagbungguan yung warship at saka Coast Guard ng China. Ano ba nangyari? What is this Kaufman na Harry Roque situation?
Well, apparently, in the same way that Harry Roque has issues with Sal Panelo, o di ba, meron din silang who's that na moment si Sal Panelo when pertaining to Harry Roque. Parang apparently si Kaufman also doesn't like Harry Roque. And he has, kumbaga, ito may resibo. And if you track back, kung babalikan mo sa YouTube, merong mga binabanggit kasi si Harry Roque tungkol dun sa kaso ni Duterte. They will file charges in Dutch courts, they will do this, they will do that, which should be within the prerogative of the defense of Duterte. Kaya lang, kumbaga, parang akala natin, parte siya ng defense team. Apparently, hindi. So, kailangan siguro, actually, una mag-ayos sila. Pero pangalawa, ako, hindi na lang ako magre-rely or magtitiwala sa kung anumang sasabihin ng kung sino man. Maliban dun sa isa-submit ni Nicholas Kaufman. Kaya lang, ang problema ko din, minsan nag-submit sila, di ba? Kaya sabi ko, ang hirap magtiwala. Nag-submit si Nicholas Kaufman na nag-agree sa kanya yung prosecution sa interim release. Turns out, deniable din pala, sabi nung prosecution, o hindi totoo yan na. Sabi ko, naku, ang hirap makinig, ang hirap mag-react actually kasi baka hindi naman totoo. Baka kumbaga naiisip pa lang nila, hindi pa naman approved or hindi pa nakikarry out.
Pa-refresher, so last time we talked, nag-ingay tayo about the interim release. Some would say, thank God hindi nangyari yung interim release na yan for all the reasons we discussed na baka, kung ano nang sasabi ni Tatay Digo, mamaya susugurin pa yung bahay na under arrest, ba? Or mamaya kung
Mhm.
sino tatawagin niya. So, hindi nangyari. I don't know, dahil nag-ingay tayo, ang theory ng illegal luminary namin si Sir Ronald Llamas is parang pinapanood yata yung mga podcast natin kasi kung nakita mo yung response nung prosecution team, di ba? Very spicy, I would say, right? Yung ground sila, parang, wow, this sounds like, di ba? Parang may hugot eh. Parang,
Oo,
sigurado ba kayo
tapos
na mag-interim release namin yan?
parang ang punto niya oo, nag-usap kami which was embedded somewhere in the middle of the document. Pero right off the bat, ang ano nila, no, ayaw namin ng interim release as a matter of principle. So para kumbaga nagchikahan sila, alam mo, may bala ka ba mag-interim release? Alam mo, maganda sana sa, kunyari ganito, Belgium. Pwede mong itry. Pero kumbaga sa loob-loob na, hindi ka talaga dapat ma-interim release. Ganun ang kinalabasan. On the very premise, against pala yung prosecutor. Pinalala pa nung parang nagchuchu na nagsabi sa court, pumayag na kami. Pero ito, kung bakit hindi pa natutuloy yung interim release, ang development, this was a few weeks back, sabi ni defense, so ito si Nicholas Kaufman, may filing siya. May kailangan daw siyang information na ipaprocess pa daw sa expert, titingnan pa niya, aaralin pa niya ng mabuti. Kaya humihingi siya ng deferral ng decision sa interim release. So in a way, self-restraint. Wag muna kayo, at nag-grant yung, nag-grant yung judge, sabi nila, Ganun. In fact, may isang judge na nag-oppose, sabi niya. Actually, lahat nag nag-comment na kasi kung huli nating banggit sino bang mag-weigh in. Syempre prosecution, witnesses, sorry, victims rather, and the countries. May nakalagay doon na nakadisclose na there were several relevant countries or states who have already weighed in. Nagsabi na sila. Biglang, kumbaga ready to go na ang decision. Biglang, aba, ako pala, sabi ng defense, ako pala ang magsasabi na wag muna. So, nag-request siya na wag munang i-decide yon, nag-grant naman ng judges.
Because they
Kaya,
knew na hindi mag-grant? Because they knew na hindi mag-grant, so might as well parang face saving or I don't know. I-archive
of,
muna yung option na yan. Ganun ba yan? Na-archive nila.
yeah,
Parang
parang
ganun.
gano'n, ano,
Parang ganun rin. Yeah, parang ganun rin.
sa malikot ang utak, ako alam niyang matatalo siya, kaya pinatigil na niya. Pero, to be fair, he's talking about information which we have no idea of. So, sige, tingnan natin kung may laman yung information na yon. Pero at this point, kumbaga, what's the information that could be relevant to interim release? I don't know. Pero
Yun nga,
probably it's
ano,
something
forklift
related,
situation ba ito? I mean, this is...
probably medical. So, kasi may expert may binabanggit na ganun. Kaya kami parang, ano ka ito? Pero kung ano man, kung kailangan na expert opinion, we're pretty sure that the ICC detention facility would be fit and can address whatever issues. Yung naging issue nga na, di ba, na nilabas, tinakas, o ano ba yun, dinala kung saan. Napa-statement ang ICC detention facility noon na, uy, huwag na kayong magchismis, nandito pa rin siya sa loob.
Hindi nila maintindihan. These are Dutch people. They're not messing around. Like, hindi ba nagigets sa mga DDS natin? Yung mga antics nila, hindi gagana dyan. Nagba-backfire.
Oo,
So,
yung I
yeah.
think yung medyo borderline na actionable, yung pictures na lumabas. Na peking-peke talaga. Kasi for the ICC, actually, they have the interests of the suspect or the accused in mind. At any disinformation about the suspect should be addressed well. At kung
You
may
mean
ganong
criminally?
picture,
Even pedocriminally? Can the
yeah,
ICC respond? Kasi parang pinapalabas na ICC is getting someone starved or to death or something like that.
yeah, and that somebody, kahit yung sa minimum lang, that somebody has taken a picture of someone in detention when the public and media are not allowed inside.
Wow, I mean crazy stuff. Let me also ask about this situation. Nung una gusto nila ipa-disqualify yung judge. Obviously hindi
Mhm.
nag-work, right? Ngayon naman gusto nila disqualify yung chief prosecutor. And of course dito pumasok din the Netanyahu angle. Si Kaufman pala meron din siyang marami multifarious pala, orchidaceous pala ito si Kaufman. Kaya may nagsabi sa akin, medyo may kausap ako na highlight. Magaling pala si Harry mag-recommend, di ba? Na like mukhang skillful ito si Kaufman. Mukhang hindi lang isang kliyente niya. Medyo marami-rami yung mga high-profile clients niya. Kung allegedly true itong reports na there's also a Netanyahu angle, which is also
Mhm.
relevant to the case of Karim Khan. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, I think people can connect the dots.
Well, yes. So ngayon yung pagpapadisqualify kay Karim Khan, parang ang bigat kasi merong lumabas nga na balita tungkol sa pag-uusap dati ni Karim at saka ni Nicolas Kaufman na parang ang entrada tungkol kay Duterte. Pero ang ending tungkol sa warrants of arrest sa Israeli officials na, uy, kapag nag-issue ka ng warrant sa Israeli officials, lagot ka, alam mo nang kahinatnan mo. At yung character nun ay parang threats daw na kinonsider ng Office of the Prosecutor. So,
And the
medyo
request was
mabigat.
allegedly to make it private, yung warrant of arrest na hindi public, parang ganon.
Ay
Parang may,
no, not to issue. Parang
not to
ganon.
issue at all, right?
Pag, o parang lagot ka ha, pag nag-issue ka ng warrant of arrest, alam mo na. Yung hindi naman diretsahan na huwag kang mag-issue ng warrant of arrest kina Netanyahu. Yung ganon na, syempre, kailangan mong ikut-ikutin. Parang, alam mo, o kamusta na kaya sa sa yung Israeli naman, yung Palestinian situation. Alam mo, kapag nag-issue ka ng warrant of arrest sa any Israeli official, kagulo to. So parang ganon,
Pero
ganon
wala
yung
akong sinasabi yung
phrasing.
ganun. Pero wala akong sinasabi
Oo.
yung ganun. Yung wala akong, di umano, may ano.
Mm.
Wow,
So,
the plot thickens, no? Grabe, ang dami ang...
sobra. Pero sabi nga namin, when you step back, marirealize mo, wala, oo nga, ano naman to si Karim Khan? Meron pang, again, ibalik natin yung sexual misconduct issue niya, hindi pa rin tapos. Pero pag if you
Allegation
step
to.
back,
Allegation, yeah.
allegations, yes. And it's work-related. Kaya medyo mabigat kasi hindi ito in his private capacity, hindi ito nangaliwa sa asawa ng basta-basta. Ito ay katrabaho niya. Kaya para sa amin, ako, parang you need to have safe spaces, of course. So, parang, oh no, pagulo ito. Pero sa totoo, sa court, ang naging in charge na si Manjiayan Yang. Simula, ano ba to, May. Nung pag-step down ni Karim Khan, temporary leave niya, ang pumalit na si Manjiayan Yang. Sakto lang din naman kasi siya na yung in charge ng, ang tawag nila, Philippines Unified Team. So ito yung both investigation and prosecution team. May lawyers dyan pareho, may investigators dyan pareho. Siya na yung head noong
Consolidated na pala
2022.
yung dalawang divisions. Both prosecution and investigation. Oh.
It's within the same parang unit. So, Office of the Prosecutor, pero kumbaga ibang teams. Pero yung Philippines Unified Team, kumbaga yung investigator parang yung mga police. Tapos yung prosecutors na mag-appear sa korte, may team na rin naman. Nakita natin nung March 14. Parang nagsanib puwersa na para, kumbaga, yung mag-litigate, ito ang kailangan ko. O, itong information. O, bigyan nyo ko nito kung meron kayo. And you also have another team. Kaya ito very important. Sa gitna ng lahat na to, saan napupunta yung mga papel? 'Di ba? Sanay tayo na si investigator, kumbaga police sa atin, ilalagay sa locker. Kaya pag hinanap ni judge, saan yung baril? Ay, ito po nasa locker. Saan yung granada? Ay, ito po nasa bag ko. Yung ganon. Meron yung ICC, very methodical sila. Parang kinikip track nila yung mga papers. So, meron silang analytical team. So, lahat ng documents, hindi lang yung nakukuha ng prosecutor per se, meaning yung investigator sa kinakausap nila, sa ganun. Yung mga dumadaan sa internet, yung mga ginugoogle nila, yung mga pinapanood nila, Squadcom and the Senate hearings.
Baka yung podcast natin, sabi, may kutob talaga.
Pwede.
Nanonood talaga sila ng...
Basta may translator. Kaya alam, mabagal yata yung translation teams nila eh. Medyo,
I think you can put the words together kasi may mga, di ba? May mga concept.
may AI.
At saka may AI. Oh, tama. Actually, AI.
Pwede, pwede.
Sobrang perfect yung ano, translation. Galing. Lalo kung
So,
TikTok Chinese.
So yun, meron silang that team as well that's analyzing the information, and altogether, Mandiayan Yang is parang in charge of it, and therefore, I think we're in good hands and ready for September 23.
Because I was wondering logistically, I suppose everyone's making arrangements now. Because how big is this gonna be? I mean, because it's
Ah,
just pre-trial down. Like in procedurally, it doesn't sound big deal, but everyone's saying it's a big deal. Bakit kaya? Why? Why? Attorney pala, sorry.
um, in terms of legal, this is the first case that an Asian leader is going to be tried. And in this manner. At actually, DDS na rin ang nag-point out eh. Sabi ko, oo nga no, magandang point to. That they're going to talk about policy, government policy. And if I may put it out there, it's very, very similar to the first ever parang international criminal case, yung Nuremberg trials. It's eerily
After World
similar
War
as the
II.
Holocaust. Kasi it was government policy. Sabi ng gobyerno namin, this is the final solution. And therefore, when you go back to that country, hindi mo matatry yan. Kasi, inutos lang sa akin eh. Ganito eh. In our situation, it's almost similar, eerily similar. Compared sa, in other cases, it's war crimes. Talagang naggera, talagang may away talaga sila. And in some cases, admittedly, merong excesses. At sasabihin nila, kasi it was committed part of the war. Parang ganon. Okay. Ang tanong din, inutos mo ba na mang-rape kayo ng mga tao? Hindi naman, pero parang noted na yun. Parang alam mo na. Pero dito, again, katulad ng Holocaust, direct instructions. Whether, kumbaga, soft instruction or hard instruction, ang sabi, kill, kill, kill. At tapos ang defense niya, ay, hindi naman ko inutos na patayin mo si Mr. X. Ganun din naman sa ano sa Holocaust. Ang sabi lang, basta Hudyo, basta kaaway sa uri, parang ganun.
So
Kaya,
it's a
interesting
bureaucratic
to from a
killing
legal
machine.
point of yeah, from a legal point of view, and what will his defense be? Inaabangan yan, syempre. Sa confirmation of charges yan, unang ma-feel, and may declaration na sila, they will not use alibi. Wala ako dyan. They will not use any grounds to exclude criminal responsibility, mental incapacity, under duress, self-defense. So very, very interesting anong gagamitin niya. Kasi in the case of, itong isang example, one of the parang warlords hindi ko naman maalala kung anong particular country, si Dominic Ongwen, ang
Right.
defense
Uganda
niya,
is
Uganda was it? So I'm being charged of recruiting minors or children to the war. But I was actually a child soldier. Kaya my experience as a child soldier led me to this, kumbaga, discombobulated state na ako rin, sabi ko, nung tumanda na ako, iutos ko din na mag-recruit ng mga bata. Yung ganong defense, makikita mo na yon sa confirmation of charges. Si Duterte, wala siyang ganong
like forced
indicator.
circumstances na in the
Yeah,
midst of
kaya
war
very,
or crisis.
very,
Wala siyang excuse na ganun eh. Yeah.
very, very interesting, both from a legal point of view and a political point of view. The other point, of course, is that the war on drugs in the Philippines has been so notorious. And again, yung mga DDS, sabi nila, di ba, ginawa na rin naman to sa ibang bansa. In fact, I can hear them say, mas madami ngang namatay sa Mexico eh. And so what? It doesn't make it less worse.
But
In
maybe
fact,
it's across decades. I don't think it's like a single, like, you cannot say
well,
Calderon administration
isa
or,
pa yun.
yeah, it's like
Pero
25, 30 years, you were looking at numbers between 50 to 150,000. At saka, ano yun, mga narcos group naman involved, hindi naman,
yeah, and then grabe yung kumbaga drug trade doon. They manufacture the drugs, and it's so open. And then they export it. Dito sa Pilipinas, parang lumalabas pa nga, we have very little capacity, but and we import from apparently China.
yeah. Mahabang usapan ng China. Um, just quickly on this, I'm always careful. Like, we don't want to give pointers to the wrong people, but like on the issue of interim release and health, could psychological health also be raised as a potential basis? Because physically, I think there's no question impeccable yung healthcare system in Netherlands, not if not top five in the world, at least top 10, diba? But
And if I
psychologically,
may quote Elizabeth Zimmerman, sabi niya, pumayat but he's glowing.
yung pala may glowing part pala. Sorry,
Oo,
yung
hanapin ko yung
hanilet lang
video na yon.
narinig namin eh. Okay. Oh, so may glowing part. Okay. Well, yun pala eh. So he adjusted to the food or naging mas Pinoy yung food niya? Davao food? I mean, well, like, can he adjust the food and diet to make it more palatable to him?
Yes. In fact, he should have access to a doctor and a nutritionist. Sasabihin na ito yung mga dapat kainin mo. And then recently, I've been looking through the COVID protocols. Apparently, nung COVID, pwede kang yung grocery list. Nauso na yon na magpapabili ka sa labas. Di ba? Parang makikipasabay. So, pwede siya makipasabay ng, di ba, jasmine rice kasi yung, hindi naman yun yung saktong dinurado natin. Tapos, pabili siya ng dinurado. Tapos nung na-check out ko naman sa Den Haag, may boy bawang, may yung mga Chinese stores doon, may boy bawang, may chichirya,
Indonesian.
may
Marami Indonesian sa Netherlands because of the colonial experience. So marami kang food na Southeast Asian, mahanap na malasa. Yeah.
yeah, and Filipino.
And Filipino too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm just concerned for Tate Digong because we hope the best for him while things while he's archived there in ICC. Now obviously let's talk about the witnesses. So what is the situation to the degree that you can share, Attorney Conti? Because last time we talked, now outgoing Justice Secretary or candidate to be Ombudsman Justice Secretary, Remulla said the government is willing to help with the protection of the witnesses, basically indicating more and more movement towards, if not rejoining the ICC, but at least openness to rejoining the ICC. Again, BBM didn't say anything during the SONA, but you can read in between the lines, diba, na it's not something totally outside the horizons of imagination of the government. So what is the status of protection of the witnesses and all? I'm also saying that because we just got a news that the regional trial court in Davao has issued the parang arrest warrants yata, among others. May kaso na sila kay Las Cañas, who is one of the chief witnesses for ICC, and I wonder if Matabato is next. I mean, what's going on here when it comes to protection of witnesses, those who are out and those who are already here, and how does that interface with the Marcos administration?
Well, again, yung witnesses, cargo yan ng prosecutor, hindi nung sa victims or victims legal team. Kaya they would be in a better position, but I doubt that they will speak about witnesses. What's clear is they will present two witnesses. Yung dati nating hinala is probably it would be Las Cañas and Matobato, who are generally known to already be in contact with the ICC. In fact, Las Cañas has admitted na, oh, I have limited immunity with the ICC, etc. Itong
Magsasalita sila during sa pre-trial? Or how's
I,
that?
I would think two of the most
Oo
likely
nga, no?
candidates.
Yeah.
Yeah. The prosecutor said, so when he presents his case, kasi ang mangyayari sorry, mag-fast forward lang tayo. Ang mangyayari sa ayan tuloy.
What's gonna happen? Like, what should we
Ayan.
expect? Yun na lang. What should we expect from that? Ganun na lang, attorney.
Magsasalita prosecutor, defense, and victims. Parang opening statements. Pero syempre, pinaka-star doon yung prosecution. Kasi kukumbinsihin niya yung judges, kailangang magbukas ng trial. Ito yung tipong parang gumagawa ka ng telenovela. Dapat may pabitin. Hindi mo ilalabas lahat ng ebidensya mo. Ang sasabihin mo, itong taong to ay hindi nga guilty pa, ay kailangang managot sa kaso ng crimes against humanity in the acts of, ito yung medyo gusto sana namin ma-expand, in the acts of murder. Sana nadagdag yung imprisonment, nadagdag yung rape, torture, kung may ebidensya, of course, depende yan sa prosecutor. Tapos mag-uupo, sabi ng prosecutor, mag-uupo siya ng dalawang witness na baback-upan yung sinasabi niya. So mahaba itong statement hindi ito yung, baka sa atin kasi sanay tayo yung information, babasahin yung sakdal. That, on or before, ganito, you are being accused of. Maikling-maikli lang yun. Who, what, when, why, where. Dito, palang elucidation. What really
So talagang
happened.
ganun. Wow.
Oh, and it could take, actually, we're scheduled for over 4 days, 23 to
Oh,
26.
yun nga. That's the other thing I was wondering. Is it a one-day event? Is it a one-week event? So it could be a multi-day event.
Yes, it
Wow.
has happened where parang may nagkaroon may continuance, parang may, oh sige,
Right.
next, bukas na ulit tayo kasi ang haba eh. And it could happen
Wow.
that because of the volume of the presentation of materials to be presented by the prosecutor, 1 day sa kanya, 1 day kay defense, 1 day kay victims. But of
Three
course,
days
yung
at least,
sa
potentially.
amin maikli lang. Defense will just raise or contradict in some ways. Actually, pwede din siyang mag-present ng ebidensya. Kaso sabi ni Kaufman, I will not present any evidence or I will not present any witness, one. Kung meron man akong ebidensya na ihaharap, documentary ito, at hindi ito bago sa
Hmm.
prosecution. So probably something that the prosecution has already given them or is already known to both parties. Kaya walang nothing new. Sabi niya, chill lang ako, wait and see ako kung mapapatunayan niyo, makukumbinsin niyo yung judges na magbukas ng trial. And then the victims, of course, the legal team will say, these are the views and concerns of the victims. We would want trial to open.
Wait, what about the jurisdictional questions they're raising? Tapos, it's too late for that? Or they're expected to, ano naman, charot that?
Nako, same din ang kanilang atake. May information pa kaming hindi nakukuha, kaya pwede bang i-postpone yung decision?
Yan na naman sila.
Medyo weird. Eto, wala pang desisyon. Wala pang desisyon dito. Pero, kumbaga, self-restraint na naman. Ayaw nilang pagpasyahan yung jurisdiction question before September 23. Tapos, ito yung lumabas nga kanina sa ABS-CBN. This is a very technical issue, pero naka-break ngayon yung court until 15th, Monday. Parang naka-break sila until Monday. Technically, August 18 ang resumption. Mukhang parang court recess. Kaya sabi ng defense, pwede bang kung may isasubmit within this period, suspended muna. Kung meron mang isasubmit sa 18 na. O, sabi naman ng judge, okay, sige. So, baka ma-revisit yung question of jurisdiction at palagay ko dito, it could border, kasi the issue of jurisdiction is legal. Ano pang kailangan mong malaman? Di ba? Na fact. Um, Defense, nagsabi na sila ano ang health situation, ito yung hinihingi namin, although redacted. Nagsabi na yung yung prosecutor, nagsabi na rin, I think, may gusto dating mag-expert hindi man expert witness, amicus curiae. Ni-reject ng judges kasi too early. So it's di ko alam kung pwede i-disclose, pero actually it's an Asian institution. Pero I would think that there are several other groups that would want to weigh in on the issue of jurisdiction kasi legal siya eh. Ang tanong, meron bang jurisdiction o wala? And the facts are already there. There are no new facts that you would need to decide the case. Sa paghingi nila ng postponement, palagay ko between August 18 and September 23, itong judges will decide on it. Kasi you cannot proceed with September 23, di ba? Kung wala palang jurisdiction. Or, the other option is, September 23 din nila schedule. Kaya medyo baka humaba yung September 23.
I'm glad I asked that question because I was wondering, is it a one-day event? Is it a 1 hour event? Is it a 1 week event? So it
Hmm.
could be multi-day, no? Do we have,
Yes.
what is the precedence of similar case and how long was the pretrial chamber? I mean, like, do we have an average? Is there a kind of a mathematical
Ah,
regression we can do? Like, on average, like how long are given in gravity ng
uh-huh.
cases? Yeah.
Well, it won't work kasi it depends on what the prosecution wants to say. Pero I would say minimum of 2 days. Hindi to kakayanin ng isang araw. Kasi ang daming kuda, ang daming sasabihin. Not unless the defense will, kumbaga, waive its time. At sasabihin lang nila, okay, we will, kumbaga parang, sige, nasabi niya ng lahat. Okay, thanks, bye. Ganun lang. Sasabihin nila,
Hello,
bawas
goodbye.
oras.
Hello, goodbye. Um,
Pwede.
By the way, I just have a logistical question. What is the situation around ICC? I mean, I think we know the situation around the detention center. Meron bang mga tents dyan or anong mga kaibigan natin dyan? Kasi alam ko marami mga bakanteng lupa around ICC. I was going around. Is it like being filled up? I mean, are there regulations? Like, what's the security situation? I mean, are we going to be safe when we visit there? I mean, like, I'm asking this openly, right? Yeah.
Well, I hope so. The Hague and generally the Netherlands is very relaxed when it comes to, kumbaga, rallies, sabihin na natin, or gatherings. Parang, sige, bala kayo because that's open spaces. And even on some private properties, pwede kang pumunta if you have permission. So, dun ka lang talaga maiipit kung kunyari, nag-trespass ka. So, that's private property na pinuntahan mo. Or on a public space, you committed some offense. And that would be littering, if you're too noisy, etc. Hindi katulad dito sa Pilipinas na stricto masyado, di ba? Yung mga ordinansa ng barangay, bawal magkaraoke ng 10 p.m. Yung mga gano'n, bawal ganyan-ganyan. Sa kanila medyo relaxed and I think yung ano nila kasi, yung culture nila, hindi sila masyadong pakialamero sa isa't isa. Pero ito, ang sabi din sa akin, pero itong Dutch, so parang, hi, hi, ganun sila. Pero kapag kumbaga nakante, kapag sukdulan na, aawayin ka nila. Kumbaga, as in, dadaling ka nilang korte,
You
irereklamo ka
don't mess
nila.
around. You don't mess around.
Kumbaga, yeah, may ano ka talaga, may atraso ka, here's the law, ganun, ganun. So, yun lang, sana hindi maging one, violent ang mga meetups, and then two, hindi masyadong maging uh, yung minimum tension kasi 'di ba yung parang baka nagsisigawan or kumbaga
But things
nung
were not
dati
very good. I mean, with we saw with Marisumali, with our,
ay
I
yung
think some of her.
dinumaan.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the heck, di ba? Like, ako, nung una, akala ko, ano lang, things are festive. And then suddenly, I checked, oh my goodness, it was kind of crazy. Kasi kakarating ko lang yung pauwi na yung mga kaibigan natin from that very day. I just came
Oh.
from Vatican. I was at the Vatican nung morning, tapos I arrived there in Hague nung hapon. So, pabalik. So, I thought it's very festive. And then later on, Sabi ko, bakit parang traumatized yung mga ibang reporters and all? And then, si Maris herself, she never complained about anything. Like, she was so chill, so strong. Pero yung ibang mga journalists kausap, sabi, ano ka ba? Nakita mo ba yung nangyari? Tapos they're wondering, bakit ka mapunta dito? Ganun. So I was wondering, like, what if they're like counter-rallies, di ba? Yung mga ganun. Because, they're gonna be also pro-human rights groups or, progressive groups. Maybe groups that are sympathetic to witnesses, right? Who could be there.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the security situation kasi I remember last week yung sa Senado, 'di ba, nung may hearing, sorry, taas ng kilay ko, so might as well let's talk about Senate. Yung bigla may dumating na maliit na grupo ng mga supporters ni Duterte. Akala ko nagpapatawa sila. They're like, no, talagang Marcoleta, ganun yung mga Tapos, immediately nakita ko, biglang dumadagdag saan yung mga pulis. Like, they just came in like a military. Nagpanic yung pulis. Akala nila magkakaroon ng gulo. When I think people were just like, just taunting each other, but nothing serious. So I'm wondering, like, are there like mechanisms to ensure their safety and order? Because exactly, like, alam natin, Netherlands is a very libertarian, open
Mhm.
society, di ba? But we know that Dutch are serious people. You don't mess around with them, right?
Well, one, if there's actually, isang recommendation nga namin nun, if there's anything violent o kaya physically offensive na dun sa tao, yung dinuraan you could have reported it to the police and then the police will assist you. Parang may sila parang 911, I forgot what's it, 161 ba? So, you call that and then tutulungan ka ng police. Kaya lang parang sabi, parang hindi nga tayo Dutch parang visitors, tapos nagreklamo ka ng kapwa visitors, parang nakakahiya to call so much attention to something na pwede naman pag-usapan. Papasok yung Filipino values of pakikisama, tsaka yung kabayan, ganyan.
Yeah, di ba? Yeah, parang
Oo,
kailangan
parang
natin
kakahiya
mapahiya
naman.
yung bansa natin, di ba? Yeah.
Pero again, sa September 23, I think things will be a little bit more, kumbaga, the ICC will be prepared. Kasi things will be a little bit more in place. One, they have security measures. There is another hearing happening on September 19th. And I think the week before that, yung 12, etc.
Right, right, right.
Kaya, I'm not sure kung how to call it, triple security, pero definitely may security yan. Ang mangyayari din during that time, ito pa, sa September 23 to 25, may councils training. So, sabi ko nga, shucks, paano ba to? Paano ko mag-hearing kung magte-training? So, hindi mo na ako nag-sign up for this session. Ibig sabihin, may up to 140 lawyers accredited with the ICC going in and out of the court. Kasi doon din sila magte-training within the same period. So, hindi lang tayo ang ganap niyan. Kaya definitely,
Daming ganap. Daming ganap, literally.
daming ganap. Sabi nga nila, actually, sige na nga, there are a few groups already coordinating yung, sabi na natin, pro-victims or pro-witnesses. Nagsiset up na ng mga activities starting from the 21st. Kasi martial law commemoration. Yung, sa mga nandyan, or nandun na sa may dahig, baka gusto nyong mag-show up in support of victims naman of the Marcos atrocities ng martial law. And then we move on
Ay,
to
Marcos
victims naman.
Martial. Sasama
Martial
lang mga
law.
DDS ngayon. Sasama
Martial
yung
law.
mga DDS ngayon. Anti-Marcos na sila. Biglang, na sila, human rights na
Pwede!
sila. Oo, biglang anti-Marcos na sila. So baka pwede na sila mga aliado. One minute,
Sige. So
another.
sa 21, lahat ng Pilipino na nandun, well, meron pa palang black na pro-Marcos. Sorry, hindi natin
Yung
naman
maliit na
fa-factor
yata
in.
yung mga kawawa, yung mga pro-Marcos. Puro anti lahat eh.
So, sa 21 may ganun, tapos 23 ito. Kaya definitely, kailangan actually ng coordination. So, on the part of the victims, we're being encouraged to coordinate with the court, especially dun sa mga papasok. Maliit lang yung gallery. Naku, sabi ko nga, kung baka mamaya, kasi maliit lang yung gallery. I think this is what you can see online. If you search for the ICC court, tapos may gallery sa taas yon, ang sabi sa akin, they will divide it into three parang general areas. One, yung mga supporters ng accused and the family of the accused or the suspect. And then the diplomatic community. And then the victims or supporters of the victims, NGOs. within the same, kumbaga, area, pare-pareho kayo ng inaamoy, sinisinghap na hangin ni Sarah at nung mga biktima. Kaya sabi ko, oh, shucks, I think that would be one of the more contentious concerns, or parang dyan kakabahan dapat yung ICC security kung anong mangyayari. Lalo na, at ito yung papaisip kami, what if Bato shows up? What
That's
if,
what I wanted to discuss, right? Yeah, like what if
yeah, Robin
people
Padilla,
expected to be inside or outside, you know? Like
yeah.
what happens there?
Well, apparently there's no warrant of arrest yet against Bato de la Rosa. Okay, so wala pa or hindi pa natatransmit, basta definitely wala pang i-enforce. So sige, makahinga-hinga muna ang
Wala
lolo
bang
mo.
chance na may mga last minute surprise?
Yan ang hindi ko
Baka
masabi.
naman.
Kasi
Baka naman.
ang ano ko, isipin mo kung ikaw yung prosecutor, binubuo mo yung storya. So ngayon, sa totoo, good to go sila because they've already said, wala na silang kailangan gawin. It's essentially except form the script for September 23. Na-submit na nila lahat ng ebidensya. They just have to choose which ones to highlight, which ones to present to the judge kumbaga, to convince them. They already submitted the pre-confirmation brief. So may outline na sila. Talagang script na lang as in what to say, what to highlight, ganyan. Kaya, o kung anong drama, baka yun yung
Yun nga
kailangan
like
pag-isipan ng prosecutor.
Will Bato be there voluntarily or involuntarily? Yun yung question ngayon, di ba? Kasi I
Iyon
think
ang mga,
that's the move. I mean, if you're Bato, you want to show up as support. I mean, how can you say you're loyal soldier of Digong, you're not there in ICC supporting him, right?
yeah. But then, on the part of the victims, may ikakausap namin kasi there are some who would like to be there as well. Ayaw nilang makita si Bato. Ayaw nilang makasama. Kasi 'di ba parang yung trauma na shocks. Yung iba nga ayaw pumunta eh. Ayaw to be in the same location as Duterte kasi parang shocks. Parang
Actually,
yung trauma na this is the person
yeah.
who killed us. Nadama ko nga yan nung yung pagiging tense nila nung sumipot siya sa Quadcom. Yung mga nasa likod yung team ni Duterte, apparently yung victims pinaupo sa likod pa ng mga lawyers.
Ano, yeah, yeah,
Para
yeah.
daw, para daw silang nanigas na lang, tapos
So,
parang di nila alam yung puso daw nila parang ano to, lalabas na ng rib cage nila na parang hirap na hirap sila na kung kasi yung parang ito yung may kasalanan, yung galit mo, yung kaba, talagang sasabog ka. Buti na nga lang sa attorney, di namin alam kung anong gagawin namin dito. Buti na lang natatakpan daw sila. Kasi kung may iba, nakita ko na hagip ng camera, hindi mo maipinta yung mukha eh. Lalo na kapag nagsasalita or lalo na kung may magde-defend sa kanya, parang, ano to? Parang gusto niyo i-deny na merong namatay. Kaya,
is there gonna be
kailangan
psychological
focus.
training? Is there gonna kind of like, pre-trauma preparation ganun? Kasi I think automatic is gonna be traumatic, right? Once they see, I mean, the same way na they're supporters of Digong who were traumatized to see him in a, like, wait, he's there. I mean, di ba? I mean, grabing reaction ng tao when they saw Digong there already in ICC. So I imagine it's gonna be a traumatic day for many people for different reasons. Completely opposite
Mhm.
reasons, perhaps, right? So, kumbaga, kailangan ng pre-traumatic training or is there
Briefing.
some sort of mechanism like that to prepare the witnesses, the mothers of the victims, or mga ganon, for the absolute trauma that is expected to come?
Yes, actually, there's several stages and then several groups that are supporting us. And we had practice because we applied to be recognized as victims. So August 3 was the deadline. Kaya naano kami, naghabol-habol pa. So August 3 was the deadline for application of victims to be considered victims of the case. Binalikan namin halos lahat ng mga nakausap namin. One for the application, but two also for updating. Not all of them actually submitted applications. May ganung angle din kaya
Ah, I
hindi
see.
to
I see.
30,000 na ang nag-register. Kasi yung iba, ang attorney, kinakabahan ako kasi yung pulis na tumira, yung pala yung pulis sa amin.
Yeah,
So
yun
pag
din.
nakita nila
Yeah.
na yung term pa nga nila, mag-witness ako, mami, hindi nga kayo mag-witness. So, paliwanagan na naman. So, dito sa victims
Right, right.
applications, sabi namin, sige, we'll put in some of the names, some
Yeah.
of the victims. Kaya unahan ko na, hindi ito 30,000 at hindi kami nagpa-audition. Ang kumbaga ang admission ng mga victims ang tatanggap diyan yung court, hindi kami.
Pero meron bang parang ceiling na maximum number of like paano ba yung selection of like is
Wala.
may
Wala
number?
nga ring minimum eh. Kasi sa
Oh,
Said case, which was
right.
one of the most recent cases, ang na-recognize the victims for the confirmation of charges was 17. 1-7.
Right.
Parang, huh? But 17 lang. Pero apparently, parang it's good enough na merong magpa-participate.
Parang
And then,
representative sample, meron ba silang ganun parang may
wala rin ganun. Baka mamaya, yung mga expert natin dyan na statistician, mag-compute-compute. Hindi
I
rin
don't know.
ganun.
Like I don't know. Is there like a method to
Wala.
okay, I'm just trying to
As
understand.
long as you are a victim, kahit nga mag-isa ka lang, I am a victim, I represent the interest. Yun yung mas importante. And then, may atraso din kasi itong ICC. May kulang sila. Dati ko pang sinasabi to, yung July 4, maglalabas na dapat ng document containing the charges.
Yeah, we were discussing that last time. So what's the update
Yeah,
on that? There's
hindi
no
nila
update.
nilabas. Feeling ko masyadong malaman that it would be impossible not to kumbaga, not to know who you are alluding to. One could be other perpetrators. The other could be
So masyadong
witnesses.
leading, ganun, masyadong ano.
Baka,
Oh, I see.
kasi nag-follow up kami the week after.
Right.
So parang sabi namin, meron na ba makikita namin? That was also the time na due yung pre-confirmation brief. Meaning, they're almost ready. Sabi nila, waiting pa rin for the public version, yung may redactions. Diyos ko, sabi ko, Agosto na, wala pa rin ba?
Pero baka kahit may redactions, medyo leading pa rin eh. I think it's still
Yun na nga eh. Kaya yun yung feeling ko na hirap na hirap sila na
nagiging
i-redact.
sorry. Kasi we're going to the Senate soon. Nagiging sui generis ba itong case na ito? I mean, I know this is sounding like the impeachment and the whole forthwith thing, but is this becoming a quintessential case, if I can put it that way? Of course, any ICC case is really quintessential para umabot ka doon. But could this be the quintessential of the quintessentials?
Yes, I think for the Filipinos, this is one of the few cases, and actually the first case na merong mananagot na mataas ang posisyon. Sinusubukan natin dito sa Pilipinas. Wala naman tayong napapanagot. Meron ngang nahatulan. Kaya lang, sabi, ay magnanakaw yan. Pero hindi namin, we cannot hold him criminally liable. Nasa kanya yung pera, kaya ibalik na lang yung pera, pero hindi siya guilty. O, di ba? So parang, para sa Pilipino, walang hustisya dito at hindi mo mapapanagot yung pinakamatataas. Meron kang na-guilty na eh, meron ng conviction. At kumbaga, magsiserve na lang talaga ng sentence. Of course, hindi pa final. Pero dahil nanay siya ng kasalukuyang presidente, edi wala. Sitting pretty pa rin siya. Kaya parang, kailan
Akala ko yan.
magkakaroon?
Parang, well, speaking of that issue of accountability, kanina lang, ito mahilig mag-blind item sa akin eh. Ito si Cayetano, kakalabas lang yung interview niya. Latest interview with Tito Boy, parang ang dami nilang series ah.
Hmm?
Sabi na something like, you know, when the impeachment got archived, whatever that means, diba? Sabi niya, talunin niyo na lang sa 2028 elections. I mean, isn't that a very troubling statement na accountability apparently is a cyclical election thing? And it's not like our elections necessarily correct mistakes. Like, if anything, parang na-empower pa nga yung mga most problematic elements. Do we need to even name names, right? I mean, that just tells you how problematic our situation is when a senator can so easily
Yes.
say, talunin na lang sa 20 elections, and this is supposed to be a senator judge, meaning completely impartial. And, you know, like, this just tells us how problematic our situation is, no?
And the fact that he was the running mate of Duterte in 2016, parang paikot lang ng paikot yung mundo. And now, allegedly, hindi na sila super friends, but medyo friends pa rin, di ba? Kaya, pumapasok dyan lahat. Political dynasties, yung transactional politics sa Pilipinas, and yung konsepto na, lahat naman ng tao corrupt. Lahat naman yan, kumbaga, kukuha sa kaban ng bayan. Ang tanong na lang, kumbaga, kung kayang palampasin, kaya mong sikmurain, 600 million lang naman, di pa naman billion eh. Hayaan nyo na. Parang ang hirap din kasi si Marcos nga ilang bilyon yung parang pinatawad, quote unquote na lang natin. Tapos almost makakalimutan na natin. At yun yung laging problema natin.
Hindi natin
Ang dali,
makakalimutan kasi mga DDS nang kasama natin in holding Marcos dictatorship.
aba,
Dumami
sama-sama
tayo.
tayo.
Mga anti-Marcos dictatorship. Like, I mean, what work,
September
right?
21.
Exact. Then September 23, sa kabila naman tayo. And like, oh, ano pa, magre-reshuffle na naman tayo sa kabila ganun. Tapos magkaganon-ganon, magka-converge. No, but no, I'm just
Uh-huh.
saying, like, it's really crazy that we're in this situation. But, okay, let's talk about the impeachment thing about Sara. You raised a very important point. And you hear that, parati mo narinig yan sa mga informal, lahat naman corrupt eh. I mean, I don't want to say, sino pa bang mga very important people I've heard that from. Ako naman parang, well, kung umupo ka sa isang kwarto na lahat corrupt, magsimula ka siguro dun sa pinaka-lantaran na corruption. You have to start somewhere, right? At kung
Yeah.
king talaga na Miggy Mango, you start with that. And by the way, this is just a trial. Wala pa naman na ano. So, for me, I don't buy that argument na, lahat naman corrupt. Well, you have to start somewhere. Lalong-lalo na yung ano. And by the way, I don't buy the million lang versus billion. Like, let's talk about Digong. Like, ilan ba? 12,000 flood control projects ang ginawa. Kaya isa pang irita ko, Attorney Conte. I mean, Christina, it's like, I'm hearing suddenly people are good governance champions. Very people who were completely quiet or working in the government when Digong was doing everything. Farmali was happening, I don't know, flood control was happening, etc. So, minsan naiinis din ako. Like, parang okay, nainis na tayo na nakakalimutan yung ginawa nung yung karahasan ni Marcos Sr. 40 pero yung 4 years ago rin kalimutan na natin, yung 3 years ago lang.
Yeah.
Like, that's for me is very problema yung ganyan mindset, and I don't know why how easily people just okay, focus lang tayo. I mean again, BBM, we can talk a lot about yung mga kakulangan sa kanya, but at least the guy is pretending or at least making an effort to talk about anomalies. Like, did
Mm.
you ever expect a Ferdinand Marcos will come out and say, ito yung mga flood control, ito yung mga anomalya. Next thing you know, Vico Soto, opo, ito yung
Yeah.
sa akin like, that's a weird realignments we're seeing, no? But tells you, ganun talaga
And then may Iloilo pa, di ba?
exactly. And
Parang,
of course, speaking of Kilay, di ba? I think Attorney Makalintal, nagsampa na ba siyang kaso or something? I think we have clear rules na you cannot get donations from people who would raise serious conflict of interest issue. I mean, what is your read of what's happening in the Senate? I mean, as a lawyer, when you heard luminaries like, actually, I didn't hear Robin Hood Padilla at all or Bato, but I don't know, Mark Oleta, Cayetano, Chizo Scudero, like, how do you feel about, the level of debate, the appreciation of accountability questions? How did you feel after watching that? Because I had the misfortune of being there in the Senate when that thing was
oh,
happening. Yeah.
well, as someone who watched through the impeachment trials of ERAP, and then later on we had Corona, yung era na yon, Mercedes Gutierrez, parang ang layo ng mga nangyayaring, and then clearly, uh, actually, itong hirap din, ano, pero people are taking sides. And we're talking about personality politics. Am I pro Marcos? Am I pro Duterte? Losing sight of the, kumbaga, principles. Kasi kung babalik sa principles, pag sinabi mo, tanungin mo yung lahat, gusto niyo ba palampasin ng mga korap? Wala dapat papayag doon. Sasapakin ko yung sasabi, oo, palampasin natin. 600 million lang naman eh. Siyempre, hindi pwedeng ganun-ganun ang sabihin ng senador. Kaya lang, siyempre, gagawa sila ng ibang reasons, gagawa sila ng ibang palamuti. In the same way that they have evaded, kumbaga, yung pag magkukubli ka, that they have evaded going all out. Of course, there are some who are already in a particular camp. There are some who have evaded, kumbaga, going all out towards a particular group or a particular entity. Kaya sabi ko nga, parang wala bang, na-miss ko, sorry, si Miriam Defensor Santiago, na parang kagalit niya lang lahat ng tao sa mundo, lalo na ang mga bobo.
Wait. Let me be clear. Cynthia Villar has the trademark. Baba ba tayo? Actually, we're thinking, gagawa kami ng show. Tapos, alam mo yung parang yung ano, Meganon. Kami naman, baba ba tayo? Baba ba tayo? Pwede ba namin i-trademark yung boses ni Cynthia Villar sa ano namin, radio show?
Oh no!
Ano ba legal process? Like, we'll get yung mga top quotes ni Cynthia. Baba ba tayo? Tapos gagawin na lang, parang yung mga Meganon. Kailangan ba?
Tsaka research. Ano ba
Research!
yan?
So I think Cynthia wanted to pull off a Miriam defensor, but it kind of
Hindi.
didn't work. Like it didn't work. Kasi yung stupid
Hindi.
is forever, di ba? Yun talaga yung tatak ni Miriam defense. And I did work with her. I mean, she really goes to subject matter experts. Like for instance, she wants to
Yes.
do a speech on a very specialized topic. Sabi niya, oh, sino ang pinakamagaling sa Philippines on the topic? And by some chance, it was one or two
Mm.
topics she reached out. So I'm
Mhm.
that's one of my proudest moment working with really finest mind. Although of course I was not happy when she ran with BBM and of course there's a Marcos connection that but tayo naman hindi naman tayo cancel culture, di ba? We look at people in kabuuan, di ba? Speak
Well, sabi nga namin,
yeah.
si Miriam Defensor Santiago, you would have to appreciate nung kalakasan niya, hindi nung kahinaan niya. At nung
Oh yeah, yeah,
kalakasan
yeah,
niya,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
talagang, kumbaga, kaaway niya based sa politics, not on personality. Kaya yun naman yung ma-appreciate mo. And kaya yun, just to go back to the impeachment, walang ganon. Someone who will put clarity na and call out all the bullshit na parang, dami mong sinasabi, pabor ka lang naman kay ganito. I mean, you would imagine her saying that now na, ang dami mong excuse, gusto mo lang naman talagang i-absuelto. Bottom line, sabihin mo na. So, I
Well,
guess
yun lang
everybody's,
ginawa ng kabila. In fact, even sila Justice Ascuna, Justice Carpio, parang bina-blind item, if not directly, inaano ni Cheese at Cayetano, di ba? Ayaw lang yung kaya na Tapos, ano pa ni Cheese na, nung panahon na ganito, di ba, yung panahon niya, congressman pa si Cheese, kayo, ginanon nyo kami, which false information. So, I had Justice Ascuna on my show, clarifying, no, we didn't. We pleaded with the Congress back then. So, dapat Justice Carpio saying, well, this is a question of accountability. What are you talking about? So,
yes.
the other side is like that. Ang problema is, I mean, konti lang kasi yung opposition and then I don't know how to even put so
Yeah.
and
Ang,
lacks on
ang
for
problem natin,
yeah.
so maraming good points, but they're not being voiced by any of the senators. Or, well, but only a few of the senators. And technically, ano lang tayo, saw-saw-suka lang tayo, salingkit lang tayo dito sa impeachment eh. Ultimately, who would speak about the impeachment? Yung mga senator judges, sila ang magpapasya, sila ang mag-archive niyan, sila ang mag-ano. And helpless tayo in a sense. Unless, kaya medyo na-curious na rin ako sa mga impeach ganito. Ang hirap naman nito. Parang Rex Bakan. Katulad ditong Las Cañas, just to go
Uh,
back to an earlier point, ang hirap nun na resbakan kayo ng resbakan. I have a few cases like that, lalo na yung mga land cases, agawan ng lupa, kakasuhan kitang
nagping-ping-pong sila.
ganito. Tapos,
Ping-pong ang tawag ko dyan eh.
oh, pingpongan, tapos, ay nako, parang gusto silang pag-umpugin ng judge. Actually, sinabi niya nga, what will it take for both of you to drop all your charges? And kumbaga, gusto mo makulong siya o makulong ka din, ganon. So,
Magsama na kayo
para
sa
matapos
isip.
na.
Magsama na kayo dyan ba? Oh, kailangan si Cynthia talaga yan. No, I mean, for me, yeah, I mean, honestly, people are even talking about abolish Senate. Di ba? Yung mga ganun ng mga
Yeah,
kaibigan natin sentiment. Biglang naging pro-parliamentary na yung mga kaibigan natin. Yung mga, like, that's my worry eh. Kumbaga kung 2016 and 2022 were Dilawan protest votes, right? Yung
mhm.
pagod na tayo, hindi mag-work yung liberal reformism. No offense. I mean, all respect to the late presidents and all of that. But obviously, didn't cut it, right? That's why they went to Digong, they went to... Ako, ang fear ko ngayon, Christina, is like, people are gonna be anti-system, abolish Senate, and of course, we're going to the sensitive issue, and you don't have to. I know I don't want you to get disbarred. My legal team just had a response. But how can we have like a legitimate conversation around like Supreme Court ruling? Because you have a very interesting situation whereby supporters of Digong, including a banned fake party list, whatever, are openly suddenly are defenders of the integrity. Tapos ayaw nila ng any criticism. These are the same people, di ba, who are supporting Digong, attacking the Supreme Court Chief Justice. I mean, what an interesting, I mean, gallery of rogues, the audacity they have, the temerity they have. But yun nga, obviously, again, you're a lawyer, and it should be a respectful disagreement, right? So what should be
Yes.
the boundaries of freedom of expression, but at the same time, what should be the guardrails against weaponization of legal instruments? Like, for instance, kami ni Percy, ka-Percy, thankfully we have all networks of support. Again, shout out sa lahat ng mga grupo na nag-express ng solidarity sa atin. We have our legal teams, etc. But I can imagine if you're an ordinary citizen or even an ordinary lawyer for that matter who doesn't have the resources or ano, ay baka mga-contempt case ako or baka mga ganun ako. It creates chilling effect. That's weaponization. That's worrying. That's not good for democracy.
Yeah, and but I have to note that your indirect contempt did not, kumbaga, hindi motu proprio, did not come from the Supreme Court, di ba?
Oh, no, no, no.
It
It's
was
just
upon
by some,
the,
and hindi siya sa
yeah.
cause order clarificatory response lang. So,
Oh, so ano lang siya, kumbaga, I would be more concerned if it was the Supreme Court that called you out. Kasi ibig sabihin, ano sila,
no, no, no. It's not the
very,
Supreme Court. Absolutely not. No, no. Kaya nga, we have the highest respect for them and we remain
yeah,
hopeful.
because the
But
Supreme Court has done that.
to
Has,
lawyers especially, right? To lawyers.
oh, to a private individual, Lorraine Badoy, for red tagging judges. So, kumbaga, medyo
Yeah, okay lang,
abante
tama
sila
lang.
dyan.
Tama lang, agree ako.
Yeah. So, medyo abante sila dyan. Kumbaga, proactive even. And I remember there was this one lawyer who was also called out during the time of the anti-terrorism law oral arguments. May sinabi lang siya, tapos kinall out siya. And parang very peculiar yung circumstances. Parang, ha? Ang dami kayong abogado na nagsasabi, pero siguro
Yeah.
sinampulan.
Mm.
In this case, and I guess even for the Senate and kung sino mang institution ang gustong atakihin, ang klaro lang naman, yung violence. Do not call for violence, do not incite to violence. And yung nabanggit mo na kanina, it's respectful disagreement. Kumbaga, I beg to
We're allowed
differ,
to, right?
but
And
it,
we're allowed to talk about
yes,
facts of
definitely.
appointment or whatever. Like these are, I mean, like last time I checked, we were allowed to do.
So, kaya I would say yung contempt sa inyo will fall through. Wala yan. Kumbaga, as long as it's one qualified and it's not violent. Laging may ganun eh. Is it a clear and present danger to the Supreme Court or to any institution for that matter?
No,
Tapos,
what I was
may
referring to, attorney, was not the Supreme Court, but people
the
using
Senate.
existing. No, no, no. I'm talking about like
Ah,
yung mga pro Duterte elements weaponizing contempt
ah,
petition to silence. So no, ako I have we have hopeful and confidence. I'm talking about yung mga tao na biglang dating pro Duterte obviously, and then suddenly now they're taking up the cudgels. Parang hello, I think the Supreme Court is more than capable of defending themselves. They don't
yeah.
need especially these kinds of people. So, nevertheless, it could create a chilling effect, right? I mean, like in general,
Yeah.
how can we push back against weaponization of legal instrument by really anti-democratic forces outside the government? Obviously, I'm talking about now. Yeah.
Well, one, if there are cases already, kapag naka-file na, syempre, una muna, hypocrisy. Ipokrita yung mga ganyan, no? Ganyang galawan. Pero kung meron ng charges, you face it head on. Ginawa na natin yan dun sa mga, kumbaga, defensive cases or defensive stance. Like in your case, wala eh, nandyan eh. So, kailangan mong kalabanin. But, and this has been showcased by Laila de Lima just yesterday ba? You fight back. So the counter-offensive is very important. And yun na yung pinaka, alam ka naman sapukin mo, di ba? Naging violente ka na rin. Pero yung counter-offensive mo in a legal manner, in a legal platform, is to file charges, counter-charges against them. Unfortunately, in this case, yung tukol dun sa in contempt, may isang araw parang pinaproblematize namin yun. There is no, meron kasing tinatawag na malicious prosecution, which you can use in Laila de Lima's case. Malicious prosecution and machinations. So machinations, incriminatory machinations. It's a crime to do so na mag-file ka ng mga peking kaso, etc. Pero yung contempt, yung indirect contempt, medyo hindi natin alam. Kaya actually in your
By the
case,
way, may counterpunch kami ng legal team namin. Don't worry.
okay.
And hindi ko naman sinasabi na ChatGPT yung petition laban sa amin. But anyway, we have a counterpunch. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Pero
We're
yung
not gonna
punto
be on
dyan,
defensive alone. Yeah, yeah,
yung
absolutely.
punto dyan, I think it would be the institutions, yung mga magde-decide na in a better position to call them out. I've had one case against me dati, na kasuhan ako ng amparo petition kasi meron daw ako, kasama ako dun sa mga nag-recruit ng missing minors, quote unquote.
Right. I remember
So
that.
kinasuhan ako ng amparo, nakarating sa Supreme Court. The decision of the Supreme Court thoroughly rebuked the petitioners. Bato? gamit nyo sa ano, sa amparo. Wrong na wrong. This was the case of Ferdinand ba siya? Topacio. That's why I think he hates me and he doesn't want to be in a show with me or in
Ka
any, kumbaga.
nag-iisa. Wow, that's a compliment. Takot pala siya sa...
I know. And kasi naalala ko tuloy yung sa Bilyonaryo. So I was there a bit earlier.
Ba yung abogado
Supposedly kaming
show?
dalawa ang magkaharap with Karen Jimeno. Dumating siya, nakita niya ako, umexit na siya. Well, also because I think kasama ko noon si Congressman Jinky Beatrix. So kami yung host, magkaibang segment. Ang lumabas tuloy, kami yung naging magkasama sa segment. So anyway,
Uh,
thoroughly rebuked
take it as a
yung
compliment. Sabi niya, badge
petitioners.
of honor when you are irritating the wrong people or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Anyways, without giving more airtime to certain names and person, hindi ko nga mention yung mga nagkasama, even not worth, even yung mga, anyway, last part, I want to ask, like, so, how to keep the fire going? Obviously, on your side, you're doing all the fight on the ICC front, and that's very important. And obviously, next month, everything will be about ICC, about Digong, etc. Um, Well, as far as the fight at home is concerned in terms of accountability on all, how to keep the fire, how to keep going. Kasi maraming nadismaya sa nangyari sa Senado.
Mhm.
There are many people who are not necessarily happy with what's happened with the Supreme Court. Although some are hoping that maybe Supreme Court, in light of multiple MRs and certain factual clarifications, may revise. But again, no one is betting on that at this point. Many people are still skeptical. But having said that, uh, how do you think should the progressive groups move forward and keep the fire of fighting for accountability? In as much as you are doing everything right, everything you can do in your power, dun sa ICC front naman.
Well, this is trite, pero always unite. Always find common denominators, common concerns, and common actions. Kaya ako, I'm very kind of fond of bringing together yung different groups in parang alliances. Yung tama na. I forgot what it means, pero yung tama na is for accountability. So the tama na alliance, narinig ko,
Yung
they're
A, yung
calling for
accountability, I suppose. You know, like,
yeah, ang daming di ba? So
really,
yung sa
dami A, right?
alliance.
Oo nga,
So
alliance and then accountability. Yeah.
oo. So they're calling for several meetings. And the alliance one alliance I'm part of, yung Duterte Panagutin Network is also meeting next week. So siguro doon interesting kung paano ito naman din sabi ko nga, minsan, ang nangyayari din, you just interface the activity. So, this group has an activity, this other group has an activity. Maybe we can support each other. Hindi naman sa ika-cancel yung either, pero we just go on. And at the end of it, have one common activity. So, excited ako na in September, maraming opportunities for coming together. Whatever your political kumbaga, history, background, or
Together with
yung
DDS on
currently,
21.
ha? 21, 23, yun nga.
21, magkasama na tayo ng mga
Tapos
DDS. Ano
biglang,
ba yan?
oh, pero basta, ang ako, unity, sige lang kung anong, sinong makasama mo. And I am especially thankful. Palagay ko, nag-ano tayo, nakakatagos din naman kahit paano. Minsan may lumalapit sa akin. Nasa elevator nga ako minsan. Attorney, parang nag-e-errands ako. Parang, ay, hello po. Parang naka-ano pa, naka-jogging pants. Hello po. Paano ako magbibigay ng suporta? Na-appreciate ko
Oh,
yung mga ganun. Yung kasama ko sa jeep kanina, ay attorney, kala ko nga magko-consult eh. Parang, sige lang po, kaya niyo yan. Yung ganung pagpapakita ng suporta in, kumbaga, kung anong kaya nyo, sana in the end,
right.
mag-turn out na you can also physically show support. Show up when there's an activity, kung may manawagan ng People Power 3, People Power whatever, show up. At yun yung iniintay actually ng marami after the Senate activity, ganyan. Kanina nga in my class, that was my emphasis. Kung ayaw mo na sa mga kaganapan, di ba? Parang ayaw mo na sa Senado mo, ayaw mo na sa ano. And it's not a matter of, can we change the law? Can we change the ganito?
Or rant lang online. You just go there.
Naku, mahirap din yung rant online kasi baka naman rant ka ng rant, hindi ka nakaka-process. So, praxis, di ba? Very CSSP. Practice, theory, and then you put it forward. Dapat may kausap ka. So, mas maganda yung may kausap ka at pareho kayong natututo. Pero anyway, yung moving forward, ang kailangan talaga ay mag-show up kasi sa sitwasyon na ayoko na mapunta sa Pilipinas, ayoko na dito, ang daming nangyayari, ayoko sa sistema, ayoko sa ganito. The
Fatalistic.
last time we had that feeling was in 1986. And the one thing, I know that the one thing that holds us together is the Constitution, but there's a solution. You declare a revolutionary government and change the Constitution. Hindi bago sa atin 'yan. Kaya pwedeng i-consider kung talagang sukdulan na.
Okay, I'll keep it at that. Baka mga ibang kasong dumating sa akin. Baka may NBI naman tayo. No, no, no. But Justice Carpi has openly talked about this. Sabi niya, if we don't get things together, there will be calls for RevGov. There will be calls for, new constitutional order. Or at the very least, CONCON, right? So, papunta
Mhm.
na tayo. Kaya sabi ko, nagiging anti-system na siya eh. Hindi na lang siya anti-liberal, anti-dilaw. Ayun na naman saying, it's becoming much more systematic yung skepticism ng tao. And we saw in 2025, yung Gen Z natin, they really want change. That's why ang daming mga, alam mo naman, na hindi dapat nanalo ay hindi nanalo. Yung mga iba naman akala natin walang chance. A lot did very well. So, obviously, things could always be better. But my point is, at least we saw an inkling of thirst for change, kumbaga. So I hope we don't disappoint the younger generations, and I hope there is an off ramp here for everyone, right? Otherwise, I'm very worried about things. On that note, thank you so much, Attorney Christina Conti. Is there anything in particular people can should wait for in terms of updates or something? And then again, just for the purpose of those who just got to join us, our tandem here, whatever it is, how can people follow you, and especially in updates relevant to the ICC case and other important yung mga atikayan na meron kayo?
Well, yes, magpapalabas kami ng paabot o parang notice para sa mga biktima, parang ma-update lang within the next week, probably tomorrow, let's see. At ipopost namin to sa nupl.net, our website. I also have Facebook. I also have, naku, patay na yung TikTok ko and Twitter. So it's Christina Conti. Pero hopefully we will be producing more content, especially as coming into September, ang sabi sa akin, naku, you focus on the ICC.
Kaya nga, sir, actually, I know that you have a lot on your. Pero ako naman kasi style ko, if you push me back, I double down, right? Yung parang, you wanna harass it? I'll give you even more. So feeling ko minsan, pagka ganun ka rin siguro, pag parang inaano ka sa ICC, hindi, involved din ako sa impeachment, involved din ako. Minsan kasi it's being involved on multiple things that allows you to keep the momentum, di ba? Kaya kahit may konting setback ka dito, may panalo. Ako, usually, yun yung advice ko, like, para hindi ka mawalan ka ng ano, be active on multiple fronts. Obviously, one should be a core advocacy, and then other ones should be the branches. But sometimes if you have setback one, you can have gains here, and minsan you can synchronize them. So I think I don't think I'm being unreasonable when I ask you about yung mga because accountability cuts across, 'di ba? Hindi lang
Yes.
yung EJK issues. It's really about corruption, everything else. So on that note, thank you very much, Attorney Christina Conti, for not putting yourself and us in trouble more than we are. And please focus on your ICC issue. And looking forward to catching up with you, God willing, in person naman, and also of course with other relevant folks to also cover the big things that are going to come next month, God willing. On that note, thank you very much,
Okay.
and talk to you soon. Salamat po.
See you. See you in the ICC.
God bless.